So I told everyone to be on their best behavior because, we have a former congressman coming on the show, big deal, blah, blah, blah. I don't want us to look like we don't know what we're doing. And then I come in and do the partial eclipse on the camera, and I do the rocket farts on the screen. I'm the one who destroyed the show. It's my fault.
So do what you say, not what you do.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, apparently.
This is why you don't have children. Thank you. Exactly. I need to also point out the irony of this particular. See, there it is again. This comment from Ted saying, "You guys need to interview Amy in the future."
On tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't.
About the past.
There's just a lot of issues with that one.
Vax, I want to know what you were either agreeing.
Vax.
Yeah, Vax. Either you were agreeing or disagreeing with it. I don't know whether I was being an idiot or being intelligent.
Probably both.
Would you mind dialing in, or actually, can you Skype, Vax? I would love to dial you into the guest channel and actually talk to you for a minute, just for a moment. And also, we have the magic package to open, and we have some news to get to. So I know that's a bit of a.
There you
go. It's up.
The one you were trying for. This particular segment of this particular episode on this particular show, this particular internet, this particular planet, on this particular solar system, this particular galaxy, this particular galactic group, this particular super cluster, in this particular region, this particular universe. Welcome to tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
Specifically, episode 2.10.31.
All right, hang on. There's a reason for my verbiage that way, because I'll say this particular segment of this particular episode, right? So, yeah, it is the word particular, but I'm trying to outline give the idea that we actually do update those slates every single week. Mm-hmm. And so that slate is for that one part of this one show. Right, so when we're doing escape velocity, and they get just the first segment, that is their one segment for this 1 week, and that's up to date for that week. So that's how I'm trying to convey that, as opposed to all of the things.
Well, that, and I speak very quickly, so you say it, you don't articulate it, you just kind of exactly, and so. There's
it's like
that.
We know what you mean, but then trying to replicate what you say is harder than it looks.
It is, and me personally, I learn very well by rote is what that's called. So you say something and I repeat it. You say something, I repeat it. You say something, I repeat it, and then I will pretty much always repeat it that way, all the time.
Mm-hmm. Ben is amazing.
Which is great for a lot of things, like when learning music. When I was in choir for all of high school, I actually am shit at reading music. I'm real crap at it. I can't tell you where C is. I can't tell you anything. But if you tell me that this note sounds like this, and then I can tell you like what the next few are based on where they are on, that I'm really good at. And if you sing it at me, I can sing it to you. All of those sorts of things. I'm fantastic at that. That's it. So hearing Ben say things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Ben is amazing.
That one hasn't stuck.
There are some ways that we can.
We got Vax. We have Vax on the line. He's just shaking his head no. There you go.
Your programming stops there.
Some things are just ingrained.
Hey.
Hi, Vax.
Hi, Vax. So,
hey, guys.
Vax, what were you agreeing or disagreeing with? Because of the latency, we couldn't tell.
I know. Relativity proves that being in free fall and being infinitely away from any gravitational body are in fact the same thing.
Okay.
So if you are in orbit around a planet, if you're falling toward a planet, or if you're between galaxies and experiencing microgravity, then they are all exactly the same.
Okay.
But I don't. Here's where I'm dumb, and I guess I don't understand. I'm on a zero-G flight, right? I'm still getting influenced by the gravity of the Earth. But is the gravity not pulling me down?
Nope. You can't tell.
Oh no, I know I can't tell.
Yep.
But
how do you can't measure it? You're inside the airplane. I'm telling you, I've spent an hour in microgravity in an airplane. You can't tell that it is microgravity. It's the same thing as being in orbit. It's the same thing. You can't tell. No instrument can tell you that you're inside of a gravitational influence of a body.
But, okay, but going
a
back
clock
to the,
can because it'll end.
What?
A clock can because it will end.
But you have to.
On
But relativity proves that it's the same thing as being infinitely away from a gravitational body.
for a moment, yes.
Yeah, right. Instantaneously, right? That 20
Correct.
seconds, you can't. Yeah, you can't.
Correct. My argument last week was that you're falling. If you're falling to Earth and you never hit Earth, you're in orbit.
Yes.
And the commenter disagreed with my assessment.
Oh no, that's exactly what orbit is.
Right.
Yeah.
Falling with style. Yes.
Yes.
wait, was that commenter 2 or commenter 3, Dada? Commenter 2? Bring C2 back up. First off, I love whatever that shift lock mistake you made in the chat room is hilarious.
that was good.
So commenter 2, that was spending more time playing Kerbal Space Program. But then go back to commenter 3 again, which was the grid of different things. So this is where if you drive fast on Earth or even under the Earth, such as an underloop, you would experience weightlessness. But that's not true.
That's
You
not
experience
true.
the opposite of weightlessness, wouldn't you?
No, you can experience weightlessness.
How would you experience weightlessness if you're going fast on Earth? Wouldn't you have inertial forces pressing you back?
Not if you maintain the same velocity.
But then I have to be going as fast as. So what you're saying is if you had.
You'd have to be going very fast.
If you attained, you'd have to do some math to figure out what orbital velocity would be at 0 altitude. But if you attained orbital velocity at 0 altitude, then yes, you would experience weightlessness.
Okay, so. All right, so.
Because your velocity is.
No, that makes sense. That actually does make sense, assuming you're not running into any buildings or anything.
Correct.
Right. The orbital velocity changes as you get closer or even further away from the planet.
Right. So if you're circling the planet at a speed that permits you to continually fall and not hit the Earth.
At 1 foot above the Earth, and I have a clear path, then I would be weightless.
Exactly.
Okay.
You would experience weightlessness.
That makes. I was thinking they were continually accelerating. That's how I read the comment. Like they're in a car and they're accelerating. I'm like, no, because you're accelerating, you're always getting pressed back in your chair.
You would never be able to attain that in a car.
It's the same as like, well, yeah. This is a
Right. Theoretical.
This
Mach 17 car or whatever.
well,
I just looked it up. I looked it up, by the way. So orbital velocity at 408 kilometers, where the International Space Station is at, is 7.66 kilometers a second.
Sure.
So we're cooking. Orbital velocity at sea level is actually not much different. It's 7.91 kilometers a second.
That's still
Right. That makes sense because you're pretty close. I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
But then, if as you go under the Earth and you've got Earth above you,
Yep.
that number goes down.
Yes, it does.
Until you get to the center of the Earth, at which the orbital speed is 0. There is essentially microgravity at the center of the planet.
Is that where the turtle is located?
Yes.
Yep.
That's where we set the bombs off.
So if you could make the radius of your circle small enough that you could drive in a Tesla at 100 miles an hour,
Because of the Boring Project. Yep, I see what you did there.
then you would be able to experience weightlessness.
Okay, that makes sense. I was assuming that there would always be an inertial push on you because you're always accelerating. But to be fair, that is not what the comment said.
You don't need constant acceleration.
Right.
You need a constant velocity.
No, I
Constant
got it.
velocity. That's the point.
Right,
yeah.
and I was assuming they were constantly accelerating because they said drive fast on Earth. So I made the mistake of saying, okay, well you're in a car and constantly accelerating,
No, it
but
just
that
means come up to
that is
speed.
not what they
Yeah.
said. I
Yeah.
think it was just worded in such a way that I didn't. I guess I didn't.
You need to come up to speed and stay there. You hit cruise
Yeah,
control.
just like the space station. No, that makes sense.
hit cruise control at 7.69 kilometers per second, and then on ground, and you will be weightless.
That's a serious Tesla upgrade.
Well, is it though? I mean, I feel like it's just like 2 cars away at this point.
A P1000D.
So when you were saying yes, no, what were you agreeing and disagreeing with in the chat room? Like when you said no, you're an idiot or whatever it was.
No, it isn't.
Oh, it was some statement about that being in free fall and being sufficiently far away from a gravitational body are different. Like, no, they're not different. Einstein proved they're the same.
We can get off the graphic now, Dada. Thank you. Okay, copy.
So yeah.
So,
all.
as Lur mentions, actually, we can get a Tesla to go to that speed. We just need 1.21 gigawatts. Actually, Vax, you're the right person to ask about how to get the 1.21 gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, Neuropilot's asking, could a Hyperloop achieve weightlessness if it could get up to the required speed? I mean, technically, yes, right? You just got to get up to and maintain that speed. Because as soon as you go faster or slower, right? Because if you start to go slower and you're inside the object, if you're inside the object that begins to move slower, you're going to bang into one of the walls. And if you're inside an object that starts to go faster, you're going to bang into the opposite wall. And the same thing happens on space station, right? When they have to boost in orbit, you actually watch everything go whoop in one direction. It makes that noise. What is it with the whoop noises on this show?
Whoop. You're whooping today.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, there was one of the there was a video that they did on the ISS where they one of the astronauts like hung himself in one of the modules, like kind of kept himself away from the things, and when they hit the accelerator, effectively he moved toward the back of the module. It was really cool.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen
The space station's moving around him. It was really neat.
one of my favorite ones I like to show people, just to kind of show the idea of inertia and things like that, is just the orbital maneuvering systems firing on the space shuttle, and showing all the astronauts and their stuff on the mid deck, just like whoosh, all of a sudden into the wall. You know, it's pretty
Station?
amazing to see
It's
that.
whoop.
So- oh, excuse me, whoop, all the way into
you
the
go.
wall.
Great.
So,
There it
Station or
is.
shuttle?
shuttle.
Okay.
On this one. Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
All right, Vax, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on and setting us
And
straight.
thank you one more time for this awesome hollow emitter that made me being in the studio
Yes.
last week possible.
Actually,
You're
we were
awesome.
corrected.
Thank
It's
you
Oh,
a-
I missed that. I'm sorry.
It's a mobile emitter. It's a mobile emitter. We've been calling it a hollow emitter. It's actually a mobile emitter.
Yeah, right.
Mobile hollow emitter, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Thanks to that Vax.
I had fun making that. That was fun.
Nerds. All right. We did promise we would get to the other news stories, and we've got, Mike, you've got news story 4, which is North Korea, Ukraine, Russia, and intercontinental ballistic missile intrigue.
Before we get started, should we try to do this kind of like how we talked about and kind of have it be like a standalone thing if we want to?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so the idea is we might try to make these into standalone segments in After Dark that we can turn the news into. So like just a little tidbit in After Dark, and like we kind of do this one news story that we get to in After Dark. We pull out just this segment, and then we drop it on something like Facebook, and we're like, hey, here's a news story. So
If we could do this with both of these right here, for both my story and the last story that Jared had as well, and we could have two, right
Yeah, what I
there
guess
in the bank.
I guess what I don't know is what we'd have to do any differently, though, right? As long as we're just talking and having a conversation.
Previously.
But I guess just
on
like
After
just do
Dark.
like a little quick intro or something like hello, welcome. We're here and we wanted to talk about something we didn't get to on episode 10.31. So let's jump into it.
All right, yeah, that's a good idea. Give me a second to think something.
And then at the end, just be like, so that was the story. So hopefully tune in next time for our show. Just have some quick little outro thing. I don't even know, but that's to experiment, I guess.
Destructor 1701, the blue tape is actually on the floor for a reason. We don't want to take it off the floor. You may not be able to say is there's also white tape on the floor there and there. All of these are markers on the floor for where things go in different orientations. What we really need is for Dutta to build me a stage that have these integrated into the stage. So just ignore your family. And yeah. Sorry, guys. Give me just a second here. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. All right, Donna, treat this as news as well, so do some actual switching for me, if you don't mind.
Do some actual switching.
Like go to Mike, go to his news story, more than just the wide camera. Treat it as if it were a news segment, kind of.
I don't go to Mike on.
Well, yeah, but you have the
news.
option now to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that I'm normal orientation.
Yep.
All right, so do you want to lead us in, or should I just go for it?
I'm trying to figure out how to lead us in. That's why I'm stopping here. Yeah, ideas? No?
I think that we should definitely reference the show, the previous show. Like,
I agree.
So on episode 10.31 that we had on August 26th, we didn't get around to talking about this story, but we really wanted to share it with you today. So, Mike, what's going on? Type of thing. I don't know.
News pod? All right. All right, small bit in After Dark for episode 10.31. This is a few news stories that we didn't get to. Here's one of them. So, Mike, we were talking about in the show, or we missed in the show, North Korea, Ukraine, Russia, and intercontinental ballistic missiles. Intrigue. What was going on there?
So quite a few things. Over the past couple of months, North Korea has been testing some new missiles that have made world leaders worldwide freak out. So Dad, if you can, let's just go ahead and start playing this video. They have a new rocket called Hwasong-12, which has a new type of engine that isn't previously based on any engines that they have. Now, a report from a British think tank blames Ukraine for this engine because the engine is supposedly too advanced for the Rodong engines that they've been using on the past, which are based off of Scud missiles. Now, Ukraine has been calling BS on this. They're saying that, there's no way that these engines could have come from them because they haven't been manufacturing the engines since 1994. What you see on screen, though, is the R-27 Icbm that Russia developed back in the 60s. Well, actually starting in the 50s. And North Korea bought one of those missiles, and this is the Hwasong-12 that you see on screen now. They bought one of those missiles off of two kind of corrupt design bureaus called Icbm and Makayev back in 1993. So they've been working for over 20 years to convert these engines into something that they can build themselves, not just use whatever inventory they were able to get their hands on. There's estimations that they had anywhere between 3 to 4 R-27 rockets. They also got a bunch of Scud missiles, which they have been working on with Iran to develop into their different series of rockets that we're more familiar with. And they also got their hands on an R-16 rocket. And the engines the whole thing with this whole British think tank thing, though, is that the engine that it compares it to is a two-nozzle engine called the RD-250, which the Soviet Union used on the R-16 rocket, and as well as the Cyclone rocket. And what you can see on your screen is this two-nozzle engine. They arrange it so there's actually 6 nozzles, but the Cyclone rocket that you see on the right hand of your screen there's 3 of these engines with the dual chamber. Now, this British think tank, this report published by Michael Elleman, who actually is a missile expert who helped to help in the decommissioning of several ICBMs in the late 90s, he has surmised that they're using a single nozzle version of that engine. And the whole thing with this is it doesn't quite make sense. The size isn't quite right, and it does use the same type of fuel that the Hwasong-12 and what you're seeing on screen now is the Hwasong-14 that they have been testing. And with this, there's too much about this that doesn't quite make sense. Ukraine, again, has called BS on this entire report and have looked into their inventory of rockets that they have, and there are no RD-252 engines that are missing. They have 9 of these left in 3 Cyclone rockets that are just kind of sitting in storage. And Yushmash, the developer of this, according to their official statements, all of the RD-250 and 252 engines they produced were sent to Russia long ago. So it's more likely that whatever source of this engine was way back in that illegal purchase from Icbm and Makayev that North Korea did back in 1993. And there's just so much about this that is a bit confusing. And it turns out that Michael Elleman, the writer of this report, might have even some Russian connections. And so there's all sorts of weird kind of allegations going back and forth at this is some sort of Russian conspiracy to give themselves a reason to go in and continue the invasion of Ukraine. And interestingly, Russia has deployed troops to both the Ukrainian border and the North Korean border. So there's a lot of different things going on with this. But what I think is more likely is that this engine is not the RD-250, but is based off of the R-16. R16 rocket that they got. Here's one engine that we have here, that this is a much more closer configuration to what North Korea is using now. The rocket you see on screen is the MRUR-100, or in other words, the mini UR-100 rocket. And the type of engine that it has is much more closer to the size that is on the Hwasong-14 rocket. The engine that you see there is the RD-268. But there's another engine which North Korea definitely got their hands on, called the RD-0205, which is the upper stage of that R-16 rocket. And they could easily have converted this engine, which is an upper stage engine, to be fired at sea level. So, I mean, there's way more likelihood that they got these engines from that original purchase way back in 1993, and there hasn't been any sort of backroom deals from either Ukraine or Russia in the past couple of years. So that's what's going on with this. There's definitely a lot of drama, and as things come out, hopefully we'll be able to talk about it more. But yeah, definitely some scary stuff, and tensions are very high at the moment between the United States, North Korea, and all the other world players, that North Korea might actually have a true intercontinental ballistic missile and could actually follow through with some of their threats. But to be honest, in my personal opinion, and that's all it is, just my personal opinion, I really think that North Korea just wants to have a deterrent. But anyway, that's what's been going on with that.
So exasperated, Space Mike. You were passionate about that one. You got into that one.
I am. I feel so bad for the Ukrainians, man. After this whole Crimean thing, the Ukrainians have been suffering so bad. But Yuzhmash is staying alive. They've got all these different deals. They have that new Canadian deal to launch their Cyclone 5 rockets from there. And the sea launch deal is in the process of furthering along, and they'll be producing the engines for the Zenit sea launch version. So they have things going on, but they have been struggling really hard ever since the whole Crimean fiasco. So yeah, I'm definitely rooting for Yuzhmash, and I want to see more stuff happen.
Well, thank you so much, Space Mike. For more space news, tune in to tomorrow, Orbit 10, episode 31 from this last week to see what's happened relevant this last week. And then we've also got every Saturday at 1800 Coordinating Universal Time, our live shows. So make sure to tune into those live. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. And we'll do one more. That worked.
Awesome.
I feel like that ending didn't quite work, but it gives me an opportunity to promote the last show, and then we can probably even put up a graphic, something we'll do better. All right,
Yeah.
Jared, you ready for yours?
Yeah, ready for mine.
Are you going to stand too? Kidding.
Yeah, if we had, what is that, camera 1 lined up for it so that you could just stand up right there and be like, I'm very passionate about this.
I feel so strongly about comets. I need to talk about them.
Well, no dying.
Yes, of course.
Are we waiting? What's going on?
Well, Dada
You wanna
can't
lead us
switch
in?
anything if Dada's in here. So.
Oh, he's actually doing it. Get a nice close-up of Jared there.
That's tight as you're going to get. Sorry.
Bit my tongue. I bit my tongue. What? What?
Quick,
Ready?
go to Jared's camera.
Let me know when you're ready. What's your name, Dada?
Oh, that was good.
Should I say that?
Only if you want. It's not really.
Hey, what if we had some comments on comets? Would you eat a comet? I would. I'd put some barbecue sauce on it, just washed out with a tall, cool Budweiser. So I'm a Bud man.
That's great, Jared. Thanks.
You're welcome. So,
All right, ready, Dada?
I stared at the sun for over an hour through a pair of binoculars. I was perfectly fine. I don't know what the problem is. I didn't even have to Google why my eyes hurt.
All right. I'm sorry. You're ready, Dada?
Oh, gee, who knows?
I just screwed up.
Way to go, Dada.
I opened ATEM and it adjusted cameras.
I mean, poorly?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have to reload the last profile then, probably. Yep. I'm watching the screen flash a whole
boy.
bunch.
That's not good.
So did you apply sunscreen to your eyes?
I did. Sure did. So, SPF 100 plus. Only the finest titanium dioxide paste makes its way to my skin and eyes.
All right, how did you want to do the intro for this?
I don't know, do it on 2, and then we'll something.
Ready?
Ready?
Should I look into the camera, or should I be talking to you guys?
Yeah, let's not do the tight camera. I don't think it's not tight enough. Doesn't work. So talk to us, and then we'll go to the graphics and whatnot. All right, on this last show, it's episode 10.31, you talked a lot about eclipses, but there was one news story we didn't have a chance to get to,
Yes.
talking about comets.
Comets, not comments.
Let's
Comets.
hear your comments.
We did comments.
We did comments. Let's hear your comments on comets.
Yes.
Yep.
So NASA had a really cool mission, still does actually, called the Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer. And it's basically an infrared telescope that's in space. Infrared telescopes are awesome because if you want to look at cold objects, you can do it with an infrared space telescope. Just make your telescope colder than the objects you're trying to look at. That's how an infrared space telescope works.
Is that NASA's? Does that WISE?
Yes,
W-I,
WISE, Wide
right?
Field Infrared Survey Explorer.
Yes.
WISE.
Why?
Definitely a backronym. And before I go into what the study found, I have to tell you that there's 2 different kinds of comets out there. So just like how we have classifications of planets and also classifications of where space begins, we also have 2 different classifications of comets, and they're based on their orbital periods. So we have short period comets, which they complete a full orbit around the sun in 200 years or less. So yes, 200 years is short period in astronomical terms.
Okay.
There's also long period comets, which complete a full orbit around the sun over 200 years or longer. So if your orbit takes 76,000 years, you're a long period comet. Now, long period comets are thought to originate mostly from the Oort cloud. So there's the Kuiper Belt, which is an object of icy bodies that goes out from Neptune to about 4 to 5 times Pluto's orbit. So there's that area there. Those are where we think short period comets come from. Long period comets come from the Oort cloud, which is much further away. It extends out about 1 light year from the sun. Basically a big cloud of the cold leftovers from the formation of our solar system about 4.6 billion years ago. Well, using data from WISE to see comets, they have figured out that there are about 7 times more long period comets than we were originally expecting. So by using WISE and looking at the comets, this is what comets look like in the infrared, we have found out that there's 7 times as many as we predicted. Now that's kind of important because long period comets, they're kind of like cosmic time capsules. They tell us exactly what the conditions were like during the formation of the solar system. Also, this is sort of like a hazard assessment as well, because long period comets, they move at amazingly fast velocities when they're coming through the inner solar system, especially at their closest approach during the sun, which means that they pose even more of a threat to Earth as impact events, especially because most of them don't start out gassing or basically being able to see them in visible light until maybe like 2 or 3 years before they actually reach the inner solar system. So really cool result. There's more stuff out there than we expected, which is good because we can study it, which is also bad because it can hit us. So, yeah.
You also just kind of brushed off. You have to make the object, so you have to make your infrared camera, essentially, instrument, colder than the instrument or the object that you're trying to look at.
Yes.
But you kind of glossed over how insanely cold things can get in space.
Yes, it's very, very cold. For instance, on the upcoming James Webb Space Telescope, the cryo cooler, in order to cool down the instruments, is going to be at like minus 415 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like 7 degrees Kelvin. So, which is like ridiculous. Right now in the studio, we're sitting at about 273 degrees Kelvin. So, that's cold.
That's
very cold.
Very, very cold.
Yes. And with WISE, what they did is they basically used liquid helium in order to chill down the instruments. Because the instruments can chill themselves down a lot, but not enough to get super, super cold. And
Wouldn't
that's
liquid
what they did with
helium
WISE.
want to escape badly? Like, isn't it just a teeny tiny little particle that just wants to
It
get...
is, but if you pressurize it and you have a really good plumbing system to make sure that it doesn't escape as fast as you want it to, because it does vent out when you cool the instrument, and then you eventually deplete or empty your supply of liquid helium, which is what happened a couple years ago with WISE, as expected. It was designed to have that happen, but yeah, you do eventually lose it. You just make sure that all your plumbing's right. So get some good rocket plumbers or astronomer plumbers.
See, we need plumbers in space. Space plumbers.
It's very important. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much,
Hypothetically
Jared.
speaking, real quick, just as a thought experiment, if one of these comets did hit us, since they're made mostly out of water, would all that water just evaporate as it's entering the atmosphere, or would that actually hit the surface? And if it's something big enough, could that cause like sea levels to rise and stuff? I mean, holy cow, I'm just trying to even picture this.
So a comet, like a long period comet, would be moving at, I saw some of the velocities they were talking about was 50 to 60 kilometers per second coming through the inner solar system. So that's kind of like through the atmosphere in 1.5 seconds. That's not enough time to cause enough heating on a comet to actually evaporate it. No, it's going to just straight up hit the Earth, and then it's game over for whatever's here. So, yeah. So it's not good. So that's why we want to find out where a lot of them are and try to track them as best we can. So.
On that happy ending,
Yeah.
Thank you, Jared.
You're welcome. Just positivity leaving this place right now. So.
For all of the
Nature's
news,
way of asking how that space program's coming along.
Exactly.
for all of the news this last week, head on over to tomorrow's Space Orbit 10.31. You can see everything that happened this last week. Thank you for one of the news stories that we just missed. We also had an incredible interview with Bob Walker this last week. It was really great talking about the National Space Council. And remember, we've got live shows every Saturday at 1800 Coordinated Universal Time. That's 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, or what is that, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Awesome. Well, thanks, you guys.
I made quite a mistake.
You want to do it
In
again?
that. No, I'll keep it. I said the studio is 273 degrees Kelvin, which is 0 degrees Celsius. Because that's 273.
It is pretty cold in here.
15 Kelvin is standard temperature pressure, and that's what I had in my head. So.
You know what I can do? I can add that in at the very, very end. I'll do that, and then I'll jump to this clip.
Gosh darn it.
All right. You guys ready? Who wants to open this? So here's...
God, what a mistake.
I know what this is.
This is a good one.
We randomly got this package in the mail this last week, right here.
See, I was afraid you were going to do that, which is exactly why I put tape on it.
That's a good idea.
And on the other side.
Yeah, I see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good idea.
Thanks.
So package, right? So like this, and I'm like, what the heck is this? I did not order anything from Straya. And it's like, and then I got the little thing, little customs declaration. I'm like, who in the? Oh, it's Josh. I know what this is. So I figured we would actually open this up on air and kind of go through it with you guys in real time. This is an unboxing. This is a tomorrow unboxing, right? All right. So it doesn't spin as well as my iPad.
I think I know what it is.
Yep. Here you go. You want to do the honors?
No, it's all you.
Okay.
I mean, it says
Do
what it
you
is
need
on the
me
shipping
to?
label. So.
It does in fact say exactly what it is. But all right. Let's
You can
this
do
side.
that. That's fine.
No, I'm gonna go from this side.
Yeah.
Oops, poorly. See, this is why you should do it on this.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Ooh.
I know, right? We'll get it out of the. It comes in this lovely. The power supply.
That's a dust sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
A dust cover.
Dust
That's what I'm
cover,
trying to
yeah.
say.
Here we go. We've got Becoming Martian. I thought it was Becoming a Martian, but it's Becoming Martian. Becoming Marta. That's a different book. So based on the idea that actually, hang on, can you?
Aww.
Oh yeah, I bet he didn't think we were gonna read it live on air, but we're gonna.
Wait, see it.
Making sure he didn't say
Yep.
something weird. I mean, he did because it's Josh.
He's straight and it's expected.
Says Ben and Carrie Ann. Thank you for your incredible support, and especially for all you've done for Stoge through the years. I hope you both have plenty of laughs reading this, and look forward to seeing you soon. To Mars, Josh.
That should be our slogan for.
You read that so well, considering the words are upside down. So.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It is weird.
It's
I
sort of
did
like
not realize that
leet speak.
Australian write upside down.
Yeah.
But they totally do.
This is a first edition, in case there was. It is I can read you the
So
ISBN.
this is Josh's book?
This is, I'm sorry, say again?
Yes, it is Josh's book.
This is Josh's
Josh wrote
book.
this book?
Yep.
Awesome.
Books may be purchased by contacting the publisher and author at becomingmartian.com and joshrichards.space. Aw,
Cool.
this is super exciting. And there's acknowledgments. Oh my God, we're in the acknowledgments.
Are we really? Read it. Where are the acknowledgments?
Acknowledgments. It's genuinely embarrassing how long I've been talking about writing this book. From the seeds of an idea in late 2012 to an astronaut application in 2013, a jumbled mess of a half-written idea in 2014, and the madness of being shortlisted in 2015, thrashing out in 2016 exactly why I signed up for a one-way mission to Mars, to finally being here. I may finally have put the words to paper, but what you're really reading here is the product of an entire tribe of people lending some truly incredible support. There's absolutely no way I would have been able to write about how humanity will change in body, mind, and soul by colonizing Mars without saying with much amazingly generous friends, thank you so much to Chris and Yolanda in Perth, Joanne and Peter in Mudgee, Jess in Hawaii, and Ben and Carrie Ann in LA for giving a ukulele carrying space nomad shelter to write this.
He does, in fact, have a ukulele.
He does.
And he brings
And
it
he does, in
with
fact,
him
that's a real thing.
all the time. The book's stunning cover design is thanks. I mean, did you want me to go on?
No, I think we're fine with everything. We said our
And
name.
all of the rest of the people.
We said our name. That's good. Yep, that's all that matters. My name.
Good job, Josh.
I will go over this really quickly. It's at the end of another run-on sentence, but ignore that. It says, I'm
Second
eternally,
edition will fix that.
Yep, I'm eternally grateful for Kate Islians. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Islin's talent in rearranging my sentences into something sensible, and for Lisa Stojanovsky's relentless fact-checking and astounding knowledge of everything space, and for the proofreading superpowers of Shelley Richards. Mom.
Mom, you got to run on sentence there.
Mum.
Mom.
Come
on, Mom.
Sentencer. Martian body.
Martian.
I've got a Martian body. It's kind of round right
It
up
is
in
kind
here.
of round. Round is definitely a shape.
It's shape.
This is awesome sauce.
Wow,
That
it
is
really
awesome.
talks about everything.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Holy moly. Oh, look, there's Godzilla. I'm not joking. It's actually Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla's in.
Careful, copyright infringement.
That said
You
public
mean
domain.
Gojira?
No, I meant the book, though. Sheesh.
Oh,
Oh.
this is the Martian mind. Yep. Wow. Hadfield. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm super excited about this.
Hashtag Moon of Mars first.
And then the Martian soul, as he said. Nice.
Unrelated, Vax Headroom in the room said, an anagram of my first and last names, Emery Stagmer, is Mars Geometry.
Ha!
That's amazing.
Nice.
I'm a little jealous. That's an amazing.
Yeah, what do you have, BJ?
I was going to do it for this show, but I didn't. So, especially since Dag Dog is here, my understanding, and Dag Dog, do correct me if I'm wrong, my middle name is James, and I believe they wanted to call me BJ, right? So that was going to be, but when I was little, I was at a dentist's office or something like that, and you know, my full first name is Benjamin, and she had called me Ben, and I'm like, my name is Benjamin, not Ben. And so I, as I would do, right?
I can't imagine you at that age saying something like that.
And so I have never gone by BJ, but the banner today was going to say BJ Higginbotham, and then the subtitle was going to say The Higgs, but I didn't. I'll probably do it next week.
More people.
Dad Dog says yes, true.
Sorry, took me
Hey,
a minute.
come
I
on
was
in, come
I was
on in.
reading on air.
Dad Dog says BJ was my idea. So watch next week. My name banner at the bottom of the screen will say BJ Higginbotham. Instead of this, it will say BJ Higginbotham, The Higgs. Yep. I don't know
Okay,
where the
got me
Higgs is
thinking
coming
about-
from.
That got me thinking about anagrams, and a good anagram for my name would be Chemical Icer.
Okay.
Let's see what Jared's would be.
I
Where-
don't know any.
Where are you
from
getting
mine.
that from?
Yeah, where do I do this at?
Is there like a
Just an
thing?
anagram generator. I'm being lazy.
Well, I mean, you're being efficient.
Destructor 1701. Ben's beard is apparently I can't push it. Push it. Ben's beard is amiably stable. I can't say that. Let's see here. Someone earlier had said it would be, so this would be fun and / I'm not sure I can do it. It would be cool if someone sent us something each week for us to open on air and be like, I wonder what we got this week. And, like Martian regolith or lunar regolith or something interesting that's space related each week to open up on air and be, and talk about it for a moment. That actually would be a really cool segment. What do you got?
What?
I don't know, but for some reason.
So a good anagram for Jared would be either Jade Dread.
I like that. That's pretty cool. That's sort of how I feel when I wake up in the morning. Oh, I'm awake. I have Jade Dread. But yours, I gotta say, Carrie Ann, is amazing.
Oh man.
I think I like Thingamajig Carbanian, ho?
What?
Thingamajig Carbanian, ho. That's the thing that happened.
Look at all of these.
They're all thingamajig, too. That's the amazing part about it. Thingamajig borracho Ann.
Like
That's very
Thingamajig
close to Spanish for
Corbina
drunk.
Hoan. Or Corbina Noah.
Thingamajig Cinnabar ho.
Cinnabar who?
I like the
Cinnabar. Oh.
Oh. Noah.
Oh man. Oh man.
One of mine is mythical odd not tots.
Nice.
I feel like
Not tots.
we should that should be our thing for like maybe next week is DJ Higginbotham and then put the anagram. Can you do me please?
Yeah, hold on. Oh man, that is amazing. Oh, here, I'll just do it this way.
Oh man.
Anagram it.
Oh man. Oh, you get. Look at you actually get Thingamajig's Benjamin. Bowen. Oh man.
I'm an emo. I got emo.
I also like Thingamajig's Jibba Many.
Thingamajig's jibba.
I like Thingamajig's Jibba Namian. Oh wait, Thingamajig's.
Oh my god! This is Thingamajig's job name. Him Bien. Oh man.
Oh man.
That is. I haven't laughed this hard on the show in a long time. Oh, there we go. It's Thingamajig's Jibba No Men M. Oh man. I love how they can just screw up the whole rest of your name and Benjamin still stays intact. Like perfectly intact.
What can I say? Strong, powerful name.
Benjamin?
Yeah, we had the whole thing.
Thingamajig's Johnny Ebbe. Thingamajig's Johnny Beba.
This is like language from the Sims games.
Oh man.
Ditch.
Scandal Pearl. That's amazing.
Ditch moot snotty.
Oh wow.
Take the James out if you don't mind.
Oh, should I do my full name?
Yeah, she did my full name.
Okay, I'll
Just
do my
because I
full
figured
name.
the more
I
letters,
did
the
Jared Head. That's how I got the Jade one.
My full name maybe too. What site are you on for that?
anagrammer.com.
Thingamajig Hin Bom Knee.
Ditch my TNT so to. No, sorry. Ditch my TNT to so.
Do so. Also like Thingamajig Hem Bob in
What time is our appointment? Do you know?
3.
Oh, all right, so we have a little bit of time, but I think we're Why are you giggling?
Oh man.
Oh man, if I put in my full name with my middle name, then my anagram is Guacamole Spark.
Yes!
Nice.
Yes,
Nice.
guacamole spark. Put that in the rundown for 1032. That needs to be on your
man.
name banner. It's going to be top name guacamole, bottom name Spark. It's going to be a magical. And the best part is we shouldn't reference it in the show and wait for After Dark to loop around and see how many people notice it.
Man.
Be like, why did it say guacamole Spark in the show?
That is just
Yeah.
all kinds of amazing.
Mike, you were here and after referred to as guac.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is
man.
magical.
That is all kinds of good.
Ow.
Oh man.
One of the anagrams for my full name is Jailed Ham Law Ride.
Yes!
I just think Jailed Ham.
Jailed ham is really amazing,
Off
just
it.
in and of itself.
Off of Twitch, Darsum says, this is why you watch live. Yes, absolutely.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
So
Man.
Space guac. We have space guac. Oh my God. Space guac. Yep.
Doc shipped my TNT too.
where are you finding these at, Donna?
Oh man.
That's for his name,
Where?
right? That's for your name?
There's this one's Brendan's online anagram generator. I don't know.
Oh, excuse me. Hollow guacamole.
Speaking of guacamole, I am starving. I haven't even eaten anything yet.
Yeah,
today, so-
I am too. I think we're done. I liked the new, so before we go, chat room, did you like the general news idea? I'll cut those out and I'll drop those on like Facebook and Twitter maybe? I don't know. Yours was long. It might not work on Twitter. Shorten yours up next time, but that's all right. You've been waiting for like 2 weeks to do yours, so I get that. But yeah, maybe like Facebook and Twitter.
Should we upload them to YouTube too, or just the socials?
You know, I decided to put I made it in such a way that you could put it on YouTube, but I don't know, maybe. Should I go on YouTube?
Why don't we, just as an experiment, why don't we try all three and see what does the best?
I'm a little worried about
Compare the
cluttering the
metrics.
YouTube channel, right? Because
Oh, that's true,
if you
yeah.
think about it, if you think about putting space and cities and tech and science all up there, and then having all these little, but maybe that's okay.
Let's try using these as a tool on other platforms than YouTube to drive traffic to our YouTube channel for full shows.
Maybe, I mean, the argument for YouTube as well could be that these might be easier to find and consume, and then you subscribe to the YouTube channel, right? I mean,
Fit Orion,
Neuropilot-
yeah, we feel the same way.
some people have a second channel for snippets. I mean, that's not a terrible idea. Yeah, and
But that's just having to start up from scratch again, you know what I mean?
yeah, that's true. And I feel like if we're going to put it on YouTube, it should be on the main channel so we get the subscribers there, not having to build up yet another channel. I don't think we're large enough to build up yet another channel. Yeah, we'll definitely. I mean, it will definitely go on Facebook. You know, use the Facebook feature on YouTube. You know,
I mean, it can go
here's the
on
thing: we'll put it on YouTube. If it does clutter up the channel, we'll just delete it.
Sure.
Right?
I mean,
Sure.
yeah, you could put it, you could put it the other places that aren't getting as much traffic as YouTube, though, like very specifically, like
I'll try.
only tomorrow, Patreon, you know, Facebook.
It's a test.
Reddit.
It can't hurt. Darsim
Yeah.
from Twitch says we haven't had any space pods for a while, so news pods wouldn't hurt. Yeah, and actually, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And doing it this way and after dark, I think makes it really easy for us. Because I mean, on your end to edit this, since we had plugging the media that we already had, all you got to do is just cut, and upload.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably.
Essentially.
Yeah, I'll probably put an end
I
slate
mean, adds a
there.
couple
That-
more graphics.
That
but
sounds so simple. It's almost like you want to do it.
It is simple.
send me the files and I'll do it.
Yeah, no, it's way harder to do that. Yeah, but to send you the file, I'll have to cut it. At which point, why don't I just upload it?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
true.
exactly. All right.
You have to edit anyway to cut for the main live show. So
Yeah.
Owie.
I don't know. It just sounds like the simplest.
All right, I think we're winding down. We're going to try this for the next few weeks, I think, see what works. Please give us feedback on what is and isn't working in this format. And I need to think about how we're going to get in and back out of these segments in a sleek way, because I did not do so well this week.
Well, you didn't do well if we were going to cut them out. I didn't know that we were going to cut them out, so at that point, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
because then it's a very casual, like, hey, we said we were going to get to this. Here it is.
yeah, but I give it, okay. Anyhow, yeah. So, ideas, comments, feedback, concerns, all that fun jazz. I think the best place for like future-looking things like that is Reddit, if you guys don't mind. You certainly don't have to, but if you can drop your ideas for like how to do these smaller segment things and what you think of them in general, drop that on Reddit, and we'll kind of use that. Oh, and one other change I want to make, and I saw this on some Reddit thing somewhere, I don't remember who, is that in their theme on the upper right-hand corner, they had a link to their Discord channel. So I think I want to do that as well. I think I need to put a lot of love in our Reddit theme overall, and then link that back to Discord. And I think I'm going to start adding that into our YouTube descriptions and everything else, because there is a lot, even not in the Escape Velocity channel. So Escape Velocity is just for those, the Escape Velocity stuff, behind the scenes stuff, show generation stuff. So that will only happen in the Escape Velocity room, but there's still a general room, and anyone's free to join the general room. So including the Escape Velocity.
There's lots
patrons.
of conversations in
Yeah,
there.
a lot of really great conversation in the general room. So having just kind of, we're using Discord as a general place for everything, plus the Escape Velocity stuff for show creation. So do please join the Escape Velocity stuff. I'll put it in the show description, all that other fun jazz. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. See you in a week.